What's up, YouTube? Here's some of the tools and different methods I use for dry fire training at home. For my AR, I'm running the Mantis Blackbeard. For my pistols, I use these 9mm laser cartridges. I use these dry fire targets made by TA Targets. They were actually free. I just paid $9 for the shipping. So I have 5 set up over here on one side of the house. I made my own hostage target, which sits over here in the corner. The targets you'll see me shooting are these 3 I have set up in the middle of the house. Lastly, we have Final Boss Horsehead as our 3D target. Now, one of the first trainings I start out with is drawing from concealment using iron sights because it's a perishable skill. I try to focus on keeping my time and my draw under a 1.25. And in this portion of the training, I'm running a double action, single action CZ P07, so there's no re-racking the slide after every trigger pull. I can continuously strike that laser and get follow-up shots, but the problem is the gun's running an almost 11-pound double action trigger. One thing I will warn you about though with these laser cartridges is I have broken 2 firing pins after thousands of rounds striking that cartridge. I've broken a firing pin to my P07 and I've broken a firing pin most recently to my P10. But again, this is after thousands of trigger pulls. So that's just something to keep in mind and be aware of. You might want to have spare parts for your gun laying around. Pump fake, dead in the streets. Next up, I'll run some drills with my bag. I carry this bulletproof bag just like this around the city. They ain't finding me dead in the streets. So this has a 3+ steel plate in it, I know, but misballing. It has a thick rubber coating on it and it has padding plus all the stuff in the bag. I have things like an IFAK, 2 tourniquets, all kinds of stuff. I basically live out of this bag. Gloves, balaclavas, everything. So I'm not too concerned about the spalling on that 3+ plate. What exactly I want to do here is I want to practice drawing from that bag. In the bag, I usually keep a Ruger 5.7, but I don't have a laser cartridge for that, so I'm running my regular carry gun in my regular holster inside the bag. Hands up, don't shoot. Oh, pump fake. Hands up, don't loot. Here, take my wallet. Also notice this is just a plain Jane black bag, like a black JanSport. Gray man. Gray man must blend in. That was roughly a 1.25 draw, if you were wondering. And that was about the same time. Bro, you good? Moving on, you get the point. Next up, drawing from concealment with my carry gun running a red dot. Sometimes I like to run this drill with a piece of blue tape covering the red dot. The goal here is to get my draw under a 1.25, preferably under a second. Fumble. Let's gay glare into each other's eyes. Die. And that was exactly a second. Just under a second. Fumble. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to stay target focused on a good grip and a good trigger pull. I don't want the gun moving. 0.9. And what I'll do here is alternate targets. Sometimes I'll stay focused on a single target and then at the last second as I draw, switch to the target furthest to the left or the right. All while my wife sits on the couch and scrolls up and down on the gram. Bitch better not be sliding in nobody DM. All right, again, you get the point. Let's keep it moving. I'll speed this up a little bit. .8. And I keep the baby monitor blasting in the background the whole time to induce stress. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we break firing pins. Alright, instead of watching another 150 of these draws, let's move on to the next part of the training. In this portion of the training, I'll run my battle belt drawing from a Safari Lane 6360 RDS. The standard that I like to keep is a 1 second draw. For this kind of draw, it's not drawing from concealment, so I give myself an extra 0.25. Even though I can accomplish a 1 second draw from concealment, I would like the standard to be at minimum 1 second with this draw. And this is the app I like to use to run a shot timer, so I can set the 1.25 par times or 1 second par time, and it works fairly well when you're using it for dry firing. It's also very easy to use. You just go to configure on the app, you set your par times, and you set the microphone sensitivity, and it should pick up when you're dry firing. Also, this is not an endorsement from that app. No one is supporting this crappy channel. And I don't blame them, quite frankly. You're sitting here doing billions and billions of reps over and over. It's quite boring. I don't even think crazy Nancy Pelosi would like it. It's actually why she's probably retiring, quite frankly. Someone must have showed her this turd of a video. Another thing I like to throw in that I'm not doing here is a reload on the move, or after you make your shot, you move to the left or the right and then you reload. I'll throw a reload in every part of the training except for when I'm wearing the bag. All right, let's get ready to move on to the next portion. Next portion of the training is where I introduce the Mantis Blackbeard. What I'll do here is I'll run low ready, high ready, I'll run rifle to pistol transition, I'll run reloads, I'll run shooting on the move, we'll do bill drills, we'll do pretty much all the crazy stuff that you can't do at an indoor flat range. You guys know them FUD ranges I'm talking about. 1 round per second, no rapid fire, whatever the frig that means. There are ranges to do this kind of stuff, but everything's about an hour away, and also you're forgetting the cost of ammo in today's market. Otherwise, you're stuck taking a rifle course or a pistol course, which I highly recommend. Take all the courses you can that are applicable to whatever situation you could fathom. As you guys can see, this is where the training becomes really fun. You could really go to work with your AR. I think the Mantis Blackbeards allows up to 10 trigger pulls per second, which none of you are going to achieve. But this is where you cannot spend money on ammo and still focus on all your fundamentals, your ready up, your grips, your staying target focus, your indexing the gun, all that good stuff, all your fundamentals you could focus on here. Don't wait until you're at a rifle course or you're out on the flat range somewhere to make these mistakes and figure out what you're doing wrong. Do it here, video yourself, watch yourself, see if your footing is wrong, see if your grip is wrong. You could see all that by just watching yourself and doing these drills at home. And I absolutely guarantee it'll make you a better shooter. What you'll see me do here is move the pistol from target to target without actually pulling the trigger. What I'm doing is I'm getting a half a trigger squeeze on each target. I'm coming right to the wall and making sure the gun don't move. Then on the last target, I'll pull the trigger, and it's just to get a couple extra reps without having to re-rack the gun like you see me do there. Now again, that's only with striker fire guns. If you're doing this with a hammer fighter gun, you're not going to have this problem. But you will be dealing with a heavier double action trigger. So there's trade-offs when you're training with both. Here I'm running the drill that I made up. It's called the 215 drill or the Philly drill. It's 2 rounds from the rifle to each target. Then it's transition to pistol, 1 round to each target, reload pistol, 1 round again to each target with pistol, then switch back to rifle, 5 rounds to each target with rifle. Which I completely botched, by the way, but you should show your mistakes. You can also tweak that drill to your liking. Like in my case, I have 3 big targets and 2 small targets. I'll do my single shot pistols on the small targets. And it's really just to try different things, different drills, and get better. Another thing you'll see me do in the training is simulate a reload, but trying to simulate a reload with the Mantis Blackbeard is rough because you can't really just drop the magazine. You have to take the magazine out and pretend you're taking it from your pouch, put it back in, hit your bolt release just like you normally would, but you can't just drop the mag, or you're screwed if it breaks. All right, let's move on to the last part of the training, which is basically doing everything we just did, but under NODS, and I'm gonna film it through a thermal. The thermal is an AGM ASP Micro TM160, and what I'll do here is just provide 2 clips of previous shorts I posted so you can see what I'm talking about.
He appears as a man of modest means, waistcoat open, shirt sleeves rolled up, and ready to work. In his right hand is his musket, while his left hand rests on his plow. He represents the citizen soldier who bears arms not as a profession, but in defense of life, liberty, and property. But who were these men? How did they prepare themselves to take on a mighty empire? When the Revolutionary War began on April 19, 1775, colonists did not have an army. Instead, they had laws, traditions, and personal responsibilities for military service dating back generations. Ordinary men were required by law to keep arms and to serve part-time in what was called the militia.
These are a couple of the different options you get. You have black hot. You also have red hot, which the hottest portions of whatever you're looking at will turn red. It's kind of like a white hot with red, and then you have white hot. Same concept as the red hot, except for the hottest portions will turn white. And if you run it with NODS, that color palette just tends to work best with your night vision if you're running a dual band system like I am. Benefits of a dual band system is, one, price, unless you're buying an MH25. I have here an Armasight Sidekick 640, and it runs for almost half the price of the MH25, or you could run a Cody, which are about $5,000, but you can't use them in the daytime. So there's trade-offs for having both. Again, guys, that's all I got for you. These are all the different kind of trainings I do under dry fire. It'll save you a ton of money in ammo if you do this at home, and trust me, you'll get a lot better. That's just my 2 cents, but what do I know? I'm just a dumb guinea from South Philly, so don't listen to me. And my channel also sucks. I did serve 2 tours with the Gravy Seals, though. Eventually, I passed selections and made it to MEAL Team 6. Did a couple deployments with them. That's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video and you got anything out of it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That's if YouTube even recommends this garbage to you. Take it easy, guys. Stay blessed. Continue to fight for freedom.